Let's solve the Notepad Games puzzles for today, January the 11th. I'm going to start down here with streams today. We have the large hexagonal grid. This looks like a freebie. Connect those two greens here. Looking up at this top and bottom area, something's going to have to wrap around. It could very well be the purple up there. And for down here, I'm not positive immediately which one that might be. And then this side also looks a bit suspicious. I'm not confident in this purple yet. So let's just keep kind of looking to see what we have. This area right here also seems a bit suspicious. I'm wondering if maybe like the yellow will come wrap around, leaving a little alleyway for the red to exit. It's possible then that, the orange does something like this, but that now leaves these two cells become impossible. So that is unlikely that that is the full solution. Again, something like this will leave this cell in a questionable state. So I'm just going to reset and look at the start again, see if anything seems a little more obvious that we can logic through. I'm going to start with this bottom. So the orange can't take this because it makes an impossible move. The cyan, again, it can't take this because it would just connect to itself. It's possible that the blue could wrap around. It's possible for the red, and I think it's possible for the purple. I think the purple, from first glance, actually makes some of the most sense because it's able to collect a lot of these difficult cells that we were going to struggle with. That means if that's correct, this orange has to escape this way. The red I'm going to connect just upwards. Up here, we're going to have to be a little mindful of. So again, it's possible that something like the orange will come around like that. The yellow has a few options, but that leaves us with a bit of a mess right up here. So that leaves me with questions. It doesn't seem like this orange would make much sense. I think whatever comes up here is likely going to wrap all the way around, something more like that. But this orange is going to have to come out somehow, and so would this lighter blue. The orange can come out and up, but that leaves this blue more or less trapped. So something like we have right here is not going to lead us to a valid solution. So I'm wondering if this blue is not the one that comes up there. So what else could it wrap around? I said the orange could, but that leaves us with difficulty over here. So with how the current grid is looking, the orange is likely not wrapping around up there. Is it possible the cyan wraps around up there? Is it possible for the cyan to go up and around? Again, that seems rather questionable. So it leads me to wonder if this purple that we started with would not be correct. If the orange goes up there, we tried that, it would connect down. I mean, this was valid, but it leaves us with this. This is not valid. So I am deeming the orange can't go up there. So what else? The yellow can't go up here. Can the blue come up here and still make a grid? The blue could do something like that. It traps this orange. I guess if the blue comes here, the orange could come down. But it doesn't. Oh, actually, the orange could still escape. But it leaves us with this up here. Again, this is an impossible grid to resolve at that point. So that's not correct. So let me clear this and just think again. Maybe the purple does have to go up. And now if we're thinking along this line, what can take these three? I guess it could be the orange. The yellow would have to come out one of these two ways. The yellow could come out and around the red. The red could go down and connect. The orange, how would the orange, if the orange connects immediately here, it's going to block off the yellow from wrapping around like that. So if the yellow is coming up, right, if the yellow comes up, the orange is now going to be cut off. It cuts off a lot of these cells from actually reaching their counterpart. So that doesn't seem correct. Can anything else wrap around down here? Can anything else wrap around? It doesn't immediately seem like something can. I guess if we override this, something like this. Oh, ooh, this has potential. The orange could come around. And now can we do this in a way where we take up some more cells? This looks like that will be the solution. And that was today's streams puzzle. A bit of a complex grid there. Took just over 6.5 minutes, but we got there in the end. Let's jump on to the toggle puzzle next. Stick with the spatial games for today at the start. 4 toggles. A lot of the lights are focused in this right/bottom quadrant. So I may just start moving some of the colors over, and there we go. That will be the solution for today. Quick toggle puzzle compared to the longer streams solve. Let's keep moving on now to the Triomino puzzle. Target of 9 today. Let's go with the 7, 1, and 1, 3, 3, and 3, 2, 5, and 2 makes 9, 4, 4, and 1 makes 9, 4, 3, and 2 makes 9, leaving us 2, 6, and 1 for our final 9. Again, a pretty straightforward Triomino puzzle. Let's move on to the larger Gigantomino puzzle. Target of 24, 3 different colors. This 10 and this 13 are likely going to be different colors, and then the 9 and the 13 are going to have to be different. So let's go from there. The 13 is going to have to grab some small numbers to get to 24. I think it needs one more. No, that is its 6 cells. So it's at 23 right now. To get to 24, it could drop this 1 and 2 and pick up this 3 and 1, but that would lock this in, and that wouldn't be able to get all of the cells that it needs. I guess we could erase those and take something like that, allowing the purple to... So the purple is now stuck at 21. It's 3 short. And the yellow is going to be likely 3 large. So how could we adjust this? We need to grow the purple, which I don't see an easy way of doing with how the current grid is selected. Let's look at this again. Purple was a bit of a struggle to get all of the numbers it needed. So I'm going to see if I go up there to that 4, it needs 4 more. in one cell. And so that is not possible. So I don't think the purple comes up to that 4. So what if we go over to the 6, and then we take something like this 4, bring us to 24, and then the blue can take those to get to 24, leaving the rest of the grid for the yellow. And that was the Gigantomino in just over 2 minutes. Maybe we'll go over to the Equatara next. Have some simple math here. So we have 9, 9, 4, 4, 5, and 3. This would bring us to 1. That would bring us to 9. 9 minus 3 would bring us to a 6. 6, we would then do a 9 minus 6 would bring us to a 3. A 5 minus 3 would give us a 2. Doesn't seem like that. A 4 minus 3 would give us a 1. That actually might be. So 9 minus 3 gives us 6. Let's see. Then 9 minus 6 gives us 3. Then 4 minus 3 gives us 1. 5 minus 1 gives us 4. And 4 minus 4 brings us down to 0. That was the Equatara. We have our word games left. I'm going to go with Muddle. A 5 by 4 grid. A lot of O's. A lot of O's in the puzzle. I'm seeing Earl. Sometimes just going to try what first makes it to the eyes. It was not Earl, so maybe look at this across. A C that ends in an O. A C that ends in an O. See something maybe like credo. It is credo, so that was a good first guess there for that row. Maybe now we look at some of the downs. Something R. Most likely not an HR or a TR. So I'm wondering, there's going to be a vowel there. So is this a word with 2 vowels? And if so, which 2 vowels? It could be, I feel like I should see this. Oh, a C blank blank R where it's 2 vowels. Does not seem like it should be a difficult word to see. Core. I don't see it off the top of my head. Okay, so I will look at something else then. Let's see what else we kind of have around here. Maybe looking at this bottom word. I see rolls, not rolls. Perhaps riles. It is riles. That gives us the first and the final row. I believe ones was already in here, but I'm going to put it in just to be sure. It could be oars. It is oars, okay. So we have a lot of vowels left. I have 3 O's and an A. And I think both of these, well, I guess this could be C. Oh, it could be char. It is in position. Okay, so those were not both vowels. That was char. Now we just have the center of the puzzle remaining. I see roti. Could this be roti? It is going to be roti, which leaves us with a tone and honor. And in the down, it leaves us with enol. That wasn't a bad puzzle. Pretty reasonably timed. 3 minutes and 4 seconds. And moving on to the final puzzle for today with the Cypher. 5-letter word. I'm going to start with something like Night. In the general middle of the alphabet, we are pretty far away. Move to something like times. Much closer. Maybe I'll go something with uncle. 72 away, really narrowed it down. We have TI. Maybe I'll try twice. I think that'll be rather close. Past it. Okay, I was expecting that to be on the other side. So we are guaranteed to be in the T letter words. Closer to twice than to times. Could be a TO. Could be a TS. I wonder if plural of tsar is in here. It is in here, 7 away. So it could be a TR. I'm going to try something like truth. 5 away. Okay, so I should jump a little further. Maybe something like traps. 38 away. Too far. So I guess we could go with truce. We have bound the word in conformity with fact or reality. In conformity with fact or reality, and it's TRU. Something like truly? It was truly. Okay, that was today's cipher, and I think 9 guesses, and that was all. Those were all of the puzzles for the day in 15 minutes and 11 seconds total.